we have 1.9 billion monthly logged in users.
What the hell? You might be brainwashing your consumers. How does YouTube react to sexual allegations on their creators? Why do you think these YouTubers who are already making tons of money, why do you think they deserve to also make more money?
I don't think anyone deserves anything.
You took monetization away from smaller creators and people were really upset about it. Hi, my name is Caspar and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the owner of YouTube, Robert Kyncl. What an honor.
Thank you, Caspar. It's awesome to be here, and I wish I was the owner, but I'm just an employee.
Are you telling me they sent an employee to be interviewed by the Caspar?
Yes, I know. Sorry. Should we finish right now?
What the Grant? You told me he was the owner of YouTube.
I use Google to find out. Don't they own the company?
I'm a fan, and this was the only way to get to see you and touch you.
You're a creepy old fan. What do you do at YouTube?
So I'm Chief Business Officer of YouTube. My main responsibility is making sure that the business of YouTube creators and all of our partners is thriving.
So you are in charge of YouTube then?
No, Susan is.
But then you're...
I work for Susan and...
Do you work for anyone else other than Susan in YouTube?
No, I work for Susan.
So you're kind of like what I am to Joe Sugg?
Exactly. Joe is your boss.
Well, I pretend he is, but we're pulling the strings. Isn't that right, Grant?
Yeah.
That's not what Joe said, but it's okay.
What? Have you seen Joe recently? He hasn't been responding to my texts and Strictly Come Dancing.
I know. He's been a little bit busy, but you know, he just texted me and said that you do work for him.
I'm gonna take out my notes. I've got a bunch of questions here. A lot of them are from fellow YouTubers, but don't worry, we'll go easy on you. How important is the trending tab for getting views? And secondly, I want to show you a clip from the trending tab that I filmed on a random day like a few months ago. And as you can see, a lot of the videos don't seem to be made by creators.
Question number one, which was how important it is to your views, and I would say not as important. Because you are getting majority of your views through recommendations. The way we think about the trending tab and the reason we have it is that we're trying to always bring more audiences to YouTube for our creators to be able to show their videos to. What we're trying to do is not reflect only what's popular on YouTube, but also what is popular in the world, which means we're taking lots of inputs from everywhere outside YouTube as well into consideration. And the reason that we do that is because if you're completely new to YouTube, you know, it could be overwhelming because there's such a wealth of content and it's all somewhat foreign to you. Versus if you're seeing something that you're familiar with, you might have read about, you might have seen some reference to somewhere else, and now you sort of reaffirm. So like, oh wow, here's some of the stuff that I know about. You start getting yourself more familiar with YouTube.
You guys are trying to get a lot of people from outside of YouTube into the space. What percentage of people of the world are not watching YouTube? Because that's not something I've necessarily considered. And what's your predictions about and methods of in capturing the rest of that audience?
Today, we have 1.9 billion monthly logged in users.
What the hell? That's so many.
It's a lot, but you know how many people are in the world?
Yeah,
7
but like,
billion.
I'm trying to get like, you know, 10 million subscribers here, and there you guys have.
Well, so there's still quite a few people who are not on YouTube today. So, you know, we view our job in making sure that we're providing a platform where you can get as much watch time and as many views as possible, and also as much revenue as possible. But in the watch time and views, it means that we have to think not only about the users that we have on YouTube, but also how we acquire more users.
Grant, why aren't you this smart?
You guys are so cool.
We would be on 10 million subscribers by now. They're doing nearly 2 billion here a month.
I know.
When videos receive the yellow $sign, I feel like I get less views. And the yellow $sign, for people who don't know, is when it's not as appropriate for advertisers as it is when it's a green $sign. Is this true or is this a myth?
It's a myth. We separate monetization decisions from viewership decisions. If you let monetization influence your viewership, over time, you start losing your audience.
You as YouTube would rather have just a ton of viewership than everything be monetized?
Oh, we like both. Yeah. And because we believe that that is good for you.
I don't care about the money, Robin.
I know. I have to care about it because there are a lot of other creators who do care about it.
And because you're the boss.
No.
All right.
If there are yellow dollar signs, what we really want creators to do is go and appeal that, because that is giving us more intelligence about the videos, and we might have made a mistake, right? Our systems are not perfect. The more creators give us feedback through an appeal, the less false positives we create.
Do you think the algorithm has ever said, no, we're going to hold this back because of something in the video?
I don't think the word held back is the right word. It's more that we would recommend something else that we would believe that the user is more likely to enjoy. You know, like Joe Sugg may have more interesting video. And then,
right. You're Mr. Number 2 over there. Yeah. You also have to think of the viewers, I suppose, and what they want to see. And if they don't want to see this face after 8 years, that's not your fault.
You know, we always have this motto, follow the user.
So who do you prefer? The users or the creators?
We prefer both, because we cannot have the users without the creators.
It's like picking a child. If I was you, I'd say user, because most of the people watching here are going to be users.
But I can't just say it because of who's watching. We care about both, right? And also we care about advertisers, right? For us, our job is to basically make sure that the ecosystem of creators, users, and advertisers is like this, right? And sometimes they could come at conflict, but it's up to us to arbitrate that conflict and figure that's our job.
Got some incredible hand movements.
Exactly, because of the hand movements and
really,
like that.
Really drives home the point. Grant, I'll give you another question in about 45 minutes. So, does it scare you that the homepage might support echo chambers? If I watch 3 surfing videos in a row, all of a sudden all I'm getting is surfing videos and I think I'm Kelly Slater. Obviously that's an example of a good echo chamber, but what if I was searching something I shouldn't be searching and all of a sudden that's all I'm getting fed? Does that worry you that you might be brainwashing your consumers?
Yeah, I don't think it's all you're getting fed. The best way to actually do it is in music. Search for an artist and then see what's getting recommended. And what you see is that over time, it's kind of like the funnel starts widening.
I'm getting a lot of Katy Perry at the moment.
That the recommendations get wider and wider, you know, further and further away from the original thing. The beginning is similar, but then it starts widening. You as a user and us as the platform, we don't really benefit if you're pigeonholed in one thing, because eventually you're gonna run out of runway to watch whatever it is that you're watching. You get bored, there may not be enough to watch in that vertical. It's in our interest to do that because discovery is one of the most phenomenal feelings for people. Like when you find a movie, when you find a video or something that speaks to you, the platform that is unearthing that for you, you feel...
When someone's first introduced to my videos, it must be an incredible feeling.
It must be an incredible feeling, yes. And
do you remember the first time you saw?
Yes, and that is why I decided to have a job at YouTube.
Political views, do you also try and give people different points of opinion?
Yeah, and what we also do is expose authoritative content, and during events, you know, some tragic events or some sort of big newsworthy events, we trigger breaking news shelf. And in that, we're exposing authoritative sources of content.
So if I made a video about that particular subject...
You would be exposed to YouTube through the regular algorithms. Think about, you know, many sort of big, serious events that have happened over the last year. And, you know, we have been triggering these shelves, and it's been proven to be very helpful to users all around the world.
People want to know why you guys take some of the creators' money. Why do you guys want to make money from us?
So that we can make more money for you. That's really the short answer. You know, you can imagine what it costs to operate YouTube. We have to make sure that our videos work on all devices. There is the underlying infrastructure to stream this vast amount of video, you know, over 1 billion hours of video watched every single day. And that has to happen in any market, whether it's a market that monetizes incredibly well, like United States, for instance, or a market that monetizes less today, but has lots of viewership, let's say like Indonesia. We have over 15,000 people selling ads at Google, who YouTube also has to pay for.
Where do you see me fitting into that?
I see you fitting in the creator ambassador role.
Okay. You want me to stay as a creator because you're a big fan of my stuff?
Exactly.
Okay, good.
You don't see him as the CEO, no?
One day, Grant. Don't tell them our secrets. What kind of creators make the most RPM?
It's also really hard to answer.
Does anyone have a pen? Because I want to
directly.
write this down. There we go.
Different advertisers have different objectives. Some may be looking for certain audience, irrespective
How
of
do you
which
spell
content
objective?
it is. You can Google it, and the spell checker will work in your favor. So my advice to creators would be just be who you are, because the hardest thing to do is getting a large audience.
So I shouldn't try and spend a week in a tub of slime?
It depends what worked for you before.
Okay. But I was just doing that because I saw that got a lot of views.
Yeah.
I'm just going to cross that off the list.
I would say staying true to your programming voice is probably pretty good advice.
You guys are implementing new ways for creators to monetize other than just AdSense.
Yeah.
A new thing is memberships.
Yeah, there are quite a few new things.
I've seen some people with that. How is that different from like a Patreon or something like that?
Membership is a new way for creators to provide additional features or additional content to their most devout subscribers.
How is that different from Patreon?
I would say it's similar. We don't want of this to be thought of as donation. We want this to be thought of more as a membership, right, which means you're getting something in return.
Why do you think these YouTubers who are already making tons of money, why do you think they deserve to also make more money through membership?
I don't think anyone deserves anything. You don't deserve it just as a matter of fact, because of whatever you've done so far.
So you're saying you could add
you can
value
earn it.
there?
Yeah, you can add value and you can earn it. You've built your audience, and now if you figure out how to provide additional value, then you can earn it.
You took monetization away from smaller creators, and people were really upset about it. Can you clarify why you guys did that?
You know, I just mentioned that, you know, we built for everyone. But what was also happening was there was abuse, monetization abuse happening on YouTube. Lots of big creators on YouTube were complaining that there are other people who are impersonating their channels, and they're...
Grant was doing that to me.
Exactly. Taking their videos and uploading them to those channels and then monetizing that and effectively stealing their revenue. You know, content farms would sort of auto-generate certain types of content, and they're all just purely doing it for monetization reasons. What we need to do is increase the bar on monetization to make sure that we can remove the economic incentive for bad actors, to make sure that they are not going to sort of poison the well for all of you guys. 99% of all creators affected by that were making less than $100 per year.
How does YouTube react to sexual allegations on their creators? Not only sexual, but if a creator does something in their personal life or uses their YouTube fame to do something immoral, can you guys take steps to punish them?
So first, we take all of this very seriously. You know, YouTubers carry our brand in their description. We're very incentivized to take all of this very seriously. And I think this is very unique because when you know, if you see movie stars or TV stars, they're not really with their identity tied to the platforms that distribute them.
Some individual does something on YouTube, it looks like YouTube is a part of it almost, whereas...
Yeah, that's right. So we take that very, very seriously because, again, we want to make sure that the well doesn't get poisoned. That's always like, we always think about the ecosystem, we always think about all of the amazing creativity that happens on YouTube because of folks like you. What happens if somebody poisons the well by different actions, whether it's on-platform actions or off-platform actions? And we have very robust processes in place to discuss it, think through it, and then take actions. One of the examples of that was when we suspended monetization for Logan Paul earlier this year.
How do people report these off YouTube things to YouTube?
What happens is we do monitor things ourselves through press on the internet.
I guess every time a YouTuber is in an article about something, you guys hear about it.
We do hear about that.
There are a lot of people out there who've been doing YouTube for over 5 years, maybe even 10 years. Do you have any advice for creators to avoid burnout?
Wellness and burnout isn't only a problem for creators, but it's also for employees.
Yeah. For you?
Yeah. I mean, this is an incredibly fast-moving world. You know, the amount of things that happen on YouTube and the amount of work that we have to get done in a year, it's like dog years. So I think whenever creators talk about burnout, our employees actually feel that too, and we as a company focus on it quite a lot. Like, we really spend a lot of time on that topic. It's actually great when creators talk about it. If there is no awareness, nobody's gonna feel okay to take a break or recharge, etc. I think there's a lot of preconceived notions around, if I take a break, then the algorithm punishes me and I'm forever lost on YouTube. Well, if that was true, how could the new guy get up so fast? You do have greater power, and then if you know how to find your audience, you know, which you have found once, that you will find it again, even if you take a break for a month, 3 months, 6 months.
Maybe sometimes it's even helpful.
Yeah, and it's helpful.
Maybe give them a break from me would be the right thing to do. Yeah. And like longevity?
Moving the bar on creativity, right? It's no different than YouTube itself, where we have to innovate on our products and introduce new ways of watching, new ways of experiencing YouTube, new ad products, etc.
I see kids on iPads all the time, and I know I'm on screens a lot. That's why I'm wearing these fake glasses, because they help my eyes with screens.
Or I thought you were trying to look smarter for the interview.
That was actually
More
the truth. I'm trying to get hired by you guys. Do you get concerned by the amount of time young people are spending watching YouTube?
Yeah, we do, and I think we're leading in that area amongst the technology companies, because we've done 3 specific steps this year in this area. In our YouTube Kids app, we've given parents the tool to time how much time kids can spend in the app.
So parental controls.
That's a parental control. The second thing which we announced and rolled out is batching notifications at night. So we stop notification and then batch them in the morning. The most recent one is that is a feature that we rolled out, which is time watched. You can see in your profile how much time you're spending watching YouTube. So there's a variety of things that we can do in this front.
Please don't make it like harder for adults to watch me 24/7.
We're trying to handle it all responsibly.
You're not gonna push them away from YouTube too much.
Oh, we don't push people away from YouTube, but what we
You do that to your channel already, Caspar.
Grant, do you have anything to say? I know I said I was going to give you a chance to ask a question.
No, I think you actually answered my question, so that's.
Well, yeah, you've spoken a lot today, so.
I hope you listened. Maybe your channel's got another chance.
Really hard, Grant.
The truth hurts.
Rob, you didn't mean that, did he?
think he did.
Thank you so much for doing this. I hope you guys learnt a lot. I'm sure some of you found his words really difficult to understand because he uses some very smart words.
Oh, I thought you meant because of the accent.
No, I would never do that. You're brilliant. What I want to end off on is a thumbnail. So that's what we have to do on YouTube. I'm not sure if you're aware of the struggles of the thumbnail.
I've heard of those.
But they're difficult. So we're going to... Which camera are you looking at? We're looking at this camera, like we're friends. Okay, now one where you're really angry, like this is a dramatic video. Like someone's just hurt themselves. One where you look smart. One where I take off my top. No. that was 2012, Caspar. Cool.